Hey everyone, welcome to College Algebra. I'm so excited to have you back. Several things, we're just going to go through the syllabus quickly and you're going to answer some questions because otherwise I know you won't read it. So because I love you and you need to know this stuff, you get to do this video with me. So College Algebra, you are going to get credits through Pine Technical and Community College, assuming you have met the prerequisites. So if you have a Accuplacer score of 250 or plus, ACT Math of 22 plus, and ACT Reading of 21 plus. So you have to have both a math score and a reading score, or you could have qualified by MCA Math at 1158 or higher, MCA Reading 1047 or higher. So if you have not qualified for the college credit yet and you want it, you need to tell me ASAP so I can get you a little ticket so you can go take the Accuplacer another time. Actually, for College Algebra, we have a little bit more time than we do for pre-calc. So I can help you with that and we'll take some class time. But the goal is to get you the credit for this class, which is 3 credit hours through the University of Minnesota State Colleges system. And so you automatically get those hours, the 3 credits after you pass this class with a C or higher, and then that grade goes on your college transcript. So you don't have to take an AP test or anything like that. You just take the class and you get the grade, which is brilliant. So some things we're going to do. We're going to graph polynomials, rational functions, transform graphs, use models to solve problems, solve exponential and logarithmic equations, perform basic operations on matrices. We'll do all sorts of cool things. More than that, but that's what our course outcomes are. We'll do those things plus some more. Some super important things for you to know. This, turn your ears on right now. Student expectations. The college standard, because this is a college class, whether you get the college credits or not, that's kind of where you're at in your mathematical career. So, 1 semester credit hour for undergraduates is meant to represent 3 hours of academic work per week for the average student. So, that means you're probably going to have to put some time in outside of class. If you choose not to, you get to choose that, but that will make this class a lot harder for you. So for a 3 credit course such as College Algebra, that means you should expect to work about 9 hours a week on just this class. So we're going to meet for 255 minutes, which is 4 hours 15 minutes during each week. So that leaves about 4 hours and 45 minutes for work at home or at study group, stuff like that. So you should expect to work approximately an extra hour at home for every class meeting, assuming you're at like average level. Some of you might need less than that. Some of you might need more of that. If you want to be successful in class, it is imperative that you complete outside of assignments. A lot of you have been able to squeak by at Algebra 2, Geometry, Algebra 1. This is the year that for most of you, that will not work anymore. You have to put in the time outside of class. One thing that I know, if you actually went to Pine Tech to take this class, you would not meet every week. So something that we're going to try new this year, we're going to have a flex day once a week. So you're going to need to report to class, but there will be no direct instruction. It'll be the day to take care of loose ends, to work with your study group, to ask me questions that you wouldn't be able to ask if we were having direct instruction time. You will also be required to do 5 study groups outside of class time. If you choose to go on to college or tech school, the way you're going to survive is study groups. So we're going to practice that now where it's safe. So you'll submit a study group selfie and a write-up. All right, let's see. During that time, you're going to have some struggles. That's fine. Struggles are not bad. That is how your brain grows with you. And if you choose to put in the work, we're going to thrive together. It is expected that you will be on time and consistently attend class. If you have to be absent for any reason outside of, sometimes like you wake up in the middle of the night puking, well, if you know you're going to Cancun, you have to check with me, please, before the absence. College works differently than normal high school. You have to get stuff done. Any assessment that is missed must be completed within 1 week of the absence. If you feel you have an extenuating circumstance, like sometimes life just happens, I'm with you, but if you don't communicate that with me, then I don't know that, and I just think that you're trying to get out of work. So make sure that you let me know as soon as you have a conflict. There are some tips. Participate. Just set aside some time each week to complete the home fun. I'll help you with that scheduling a bit. Ask questions when you don't understand something. If you don't want to ask me, ask your neighbor. We've got a bunch of people in this class that can help you. Ask if you're unsure how to respond to an assignment. And then regularly check Portal to make sure you are getting stuff in, or if I've made a mistake that you can catch it right away. We're going back to summative is 80%, formative is 20%. I found that when we do 90-10 or 100-0, y'all don't do your work, and then life is hard and you're like, oh my gosh, I did bad on my test. No kidding, you didn't do your home fun. So do your home fun, and that will help you do summative better. Note, unless otherwise stated, the test must be completed on the day given. Like, you don't get to go home, study up, oh, I saw it was on the test. Nope, you finish it that day. So the nice thing is we're 5th hour, so if you want to stay over lunch, you can do that. But you have to finish after school, or you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. Because if you can't finish it in time, generally, it's because you don't know what you're doing. Understanding there are extenuating circumstances, and then you need to chat with me. But in general, if you're not getting it done in the time allotted, you probably should have studied more. Retakes. This is new, so again, listen up. If you actually were going to Pine Community and Technical College, there would not be retakes. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit. However, since you are still in high school and working to transition to college coursework, you can retake one assessment each quarter. You may not retake every test. If I give you quizzes, those you can retake as many times as you want. But an actual test assessment, you just need to do the work up front. So first quarter, if you choose to take one over again, there are some qualifications. In second quarter, I did say quarter, not semester. So first quarter at least, you kind of have an option for 2 retakes. In order to do that, you have to have 0 missing assignments prior to the test. I have given you specific home fun test or home fun deadlines. If you don't have your stuff done by then no kidding, you didn't do well on your test, and that's your own fault. Again, sometimes there are extenuating circumstances. You can talk to me about that. But in general, if you do the practice, you will be fine on game day. So 0 missing assignments prior to the test. If you're missing stuff, then you don't get to retake it. So get your stuff done. Complete a request to retest and turn it in with the original test that's been corrected in a different color. Evidence that you can get a better score, and if you choose to retake the test, you get to do the whole thing. Again, that's different than last year because now you are in college. Tests must be made up by the last day of the quarter, which is Halloween and 1/24/2020. Grades. What will happen is I will take, and you'll get a grade from first semester, you'll get a grade second semester, so Zimmerman high school grades. I will average those 2, and that's what you'll get for the full year at Pine Tech. That's what will go there. Policies. I'm going to let you read these on your own, but academic honest, do your own work. If you're study grouping, that's great, but do not be copying from other people, because then you don't do well and you're like, I didn't do well, to which I say, do your own work. There is a W for course withdrawal. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I can't handle this, you need to drop sooner rather than later. Otherwise, a W goes on your stuff for... Sorry, I had to stop there for a second because the puppies were barking. So anyway, withdrawal. If you withdraw from this class, it does go on your college transcript, so we want to make sure that that's done sooner rather than later. Again, college algebra, we don't register until later on in the semester, so it's not quite as important for you to know right away. However, if after 2 or 3 weeks you're like, holy macaroni, this is not for me, if you're a sophomore or junior, sorry, you get to stay because you need the credit from the state of Minnesota. But if you're a senior and you're thinking, I'm not sure, that's okay, let's have a chat. But remember, if you qualified for the credit, this course in the Minnesota state system takes care of any math qualification that you ever need, unless you want to be a scientist or some like an engineer, then obviously you would need to keep going. But for those of you who want to major in art or other non-mathy things, this takes care of the math for like your major, which is brilliant if you don't want to take more math after high school. Accessibility. So there are some, just through Pine Tech, you get some great benefits. So if those are things that you need, make sure you read it. Also, last but not least, extra help. It's going to be rigorous, but I have confidence that you can do it. You just need to ask for help sooner rather than later. So ask me, like, I will help you, but let's get it taken care of early rather than waiting until, the last week of January, because then we're all going to be cranky. Also, one other cool thing, because you are now a student at Pine Tech College, you get something called tutor.com. So you get 15 hours of free online tutoring with like real people, just online. If I'm not available or not helpful, there are other people that you can get in contact with. So again, so excited to have you back for college algebra. It's going to be good stuff. And here we go. So you're going to answer some questions, and this will be a requirement because I want you to know all the good stuff. Bye.